Welcome, everybody, to Panfish Nation. Along with Mark, I'm Lyle. Mark, we're going to talk about some funny stuff tonight, some different stuff with jigs and plastic and hairs and natural baits and what does the best for who and how much. But I just told you something that made me happy. I walk in
I,
the other room and I smell bacon.
uh-huh. That makes me I love when that
Yeah,
happens.
me too. I said, Cindy, you eating bacon? She said, maybe. And I went and got my glass of water before the show starts. And as I walked back in here, she said, "There's bacon on the counter. I wouldn't have made it if I wouldn't have made you enough for you to have some."
That's
Oh,
love right there.
that is that's bacon makes everything taste better. I don't care what you're eating; it tastes better with bacon.
You could I've heard people wrap carp in bacon.
I would wrap anything in bacon. It's all good. Hell, I'd make ice cream taste better, and ice cream's awesome. You know,
I've had donuts with maple and bacon on them, Delisle. They're pretty darn good, I
I
must
bet
say.
that's right. You remember a few months ago, we was having a meeting one night. Somebody needed to discuss something and wanted a bunch of input from different folks. And you and me and Dockery and the Chad was in a meeting, and we was talking about whatever that was. And when I joined, I had set my camera off the desk, and it was down in front of the desk.
I don't remind me.
Okay, I just told Cindy about that. She didn't know anything about it. It was
You know,
funny then. It's funny now.
this is live, right, Lyle?
I do know, but it's still funny. Oh my God! Welcome everybody to the show. We're going to talk about some stuff tonight, and by the end of the show, we have a box. Let's see if I can get it out here of 20 hand ties, and we're going to give them away.
Guaranteed to catch you some fish. If not, contact Chadwick Fields.
That's right. You blame it all on him.
Mm-hmm.
Jake says bacon makes everything better. Jake, 100% correct. I want to thank Dee and Chad for announcing that. We've had the thumbnail up about the show and the jigs and stuff for a day or two, and they was nice enough to mention it on the bait shop tonight, and I appreciate that. And by the way, nobody misses Dockery more than me. I promise you. But Dee's doing a pretty good job. And I think that Chad should keep her on there, mainly just to keep his tailbone in line because you know how he gets out of line sometimes.
Sometimes.
Well, he's your brother, so.
Mind you, he's adopted.
Okay.
All right.
What do you say when you announce who everybody that's in chat tonight, Mark?
That's awesome. I got the list pulled up. I'll start at the top and go down. I
Oh,
see
yeah.
two. You're making me choke here, Lyle.
I wish I
got
could
two
hit you on the back.
I'm cold. I've been out in this. You guys are going to see me like trying to keep my hands warm all night because I've been out in the sun fishing all day. It's been like 86 degrees out here, whatever it was.
Hot here.
And now I'm in a 70-degree house and I'm freezing to death. All right, let's quit wasting these good people's times. Two old vets. What's going on, Rob? How you doing, bud? I see my sister Betty. What's going on, Betty? A couple crosses fishing. I see Arlie Miller. What's going on, Arlie? How you doing? Avid fisherman. I see. Hey, that's me, Catfish and Crappie. I'm in there. Catfish and Pappy. What's up, Pappy? Catmandu Outdoors. What's up? Chris Uselton. What's up? Miss Chrissy Brown. Miss Cindy Stokes, the lady who made the bacon tonight herself.
Just walked in here with a piece, said only one left.
Dan Thompson, Ernie Brown. What's going on, Ernie? Fishing with Squirrel, fishing with the Chad. What's up, Chad? How you doing, brother? Freddie's Outdoor Adventures. My other sister, D. Get hooked on D fishing. What's up, dear? J&S Outdoors in the house. James Albaugh. I'm sorry, James, if I mispronounced your name. Forgive me. James Henderson. J-Dog's gone fishing. What's going on, J-Dog? J-Dog tested me some pictures last night. He was on the fish, and he says, he was having a bad night, and then he talked to me, and I turned it all around. And all I told him was hello, pretty much it. So there we go. Jeff Barker, what's up, Jeff? Jeremy Colvin Fishing, what's up, Jeremy? How you doing, bud? Hopefully that channel transition is working well. If you guys were subscribe to Jeremy's old channel, go over to his new one and give him a sub. Make sure you watch some content, all the good stuff. We know how it goes. I see Jigging with Jake. What's going on, Jake? How you doing, brother? Joe Buck 66, John Boy's Catfishing. What's up, John Boy? The Great Maurice Kaysen, Mike Irvin, Old Boy Outdoors. I see Lyle from Panfish Nation out there. Papa Ed, Philip Williams, Sean T Outdoors, Kelly, the Bullock Experience. What's up, Kelly? Josh, our good friend, the Weekend Angler. Tim Molina. Look, Tim is blue. Tim, I told you I put a good word in for you. Troy L. Twisted Fishing TV. What's going on? And the infamous Uncle Jeep. What's going on, my friend? How you doing? How is that? Did that sound all professional on radio like?
Not too bad, but some joined.
Oh, and David Martin. I forgot to say hello to David Martin. I just saw his name show up.
David Martin, Philip Williams, Ernie Brown.
Creole Catfishing I saw pop up in there.
Yep. Joe Jigging with Jake, was glad to see Jake in here. We had a great show with him last week. So if you hadn't seen that, you might go back and check it out. It was a really good show. Luther Harlow. Did you get J-Dog gone fishing?
I did get J-Dog. James Elbow kind of growled at me. I'm sorry, James. I just noticed that in chat.
There's Lance, the Hawaiian fisherman.
Lance, what's up, buddy? How you doing, my friend?
Chris Yulston.
What's up, Chris?
I see you got Frank earlier. We had to have Frank in here. I got a message from Frank that he missed the show either Monday night or last week or something, and that he was watching it. Hey, you know what, Frank, we're glad to have you, whether you watch us live or whether you go back and watch us. Either way, we're glad to have you. There's Fishing with Squirrel. Eric Massey Jig Company. Hey, Eric. Met Eric this week and picked up some jigs.
Some.
Believe it or not, I got some. And did you get robbed with 2 old beds?
How many did you get?
A lot.
Super Dave 336. What's going on, Super Dave? How you doing, bud?
And we're glad to have Dave in here. He migrated over from SK's Crappie Fishing Adventures, and we're ecstatic that he joins us here. It was a lot of fun. Missed SK this week, but they'll be back next week. So
I was working on the tournament in the background, but I was listening to SK's show, so I have it running on the background, whether I'm chatting in on a lot of these shows or not. I don't always do so, depending on what I'm doing. Uncle Jeep does have a question that I want to answer. His question is, will those jigs that you are giving away catch bacon? Technically, no, but if you catch enough fish on them, what you do is you trade that fish for bacon, right, Lyle?
What I'm thinking is you could take a little bitty piece off of a strip of bacon and use it for
Why would you do that?
Well, just a thought. Just a thought. I know guys have used it for bacon or for bait. Not me. I can't let it go. I just seen it. Tristan Dennis, welcome. I think we're caught up pretty much.
I think so too.
You was out fishing today.
I was.
Catfish, correct?
That is correct. And listen to this. I was fishing for catfish, but I came across a honey hole that had white bass, yellow bass, crappie, and walleye in it.
Cool.
Guess who's bringing another pole when he goes out there again, maybe tomorrow?
I know who it would be if I was going.
That would be me.
That's exactly right.
Chad brings up a good point, too, in the chat, though. I want to say this before it rolls off screen. Chad says we're only 8 away from 500 subscribers. So if you're not really subscribed and you're listening, please subscribe. If you can share it out any way possible, spread the word.
Absolutely.
I know we'd really appreciate it. So we got to do the YouTube thing. I know everybody gets pounded with all those requests all the time, but I think we got a lot of good people here in chat. A lot of people really like this show, so I don't think they'll have a problem with doing that for us, Lyle.
I don't think so either. Fins and Fowl, Sean T. We're glad to have everybody watching the show. It is awesome that you guys come in here and watch this show with us. This started out as a fig Newton of my imagination, and before I ever told anybody else about it, I talked to James Dockery about it because I give old James a lot of bull, but if I, he always trusts what he tells me. And he says, you need to do that. Well, 6 months later or so, he says, hey, are you going to do that or not? And I just had so many things going on. But we've absolutely had a blast doing this show. If it don't get any bigger now or than it is now, we still having a good time.
Absolutely, and it definitely will. Good things seem to spread. So hopefully we'll do that.
I agree. So and remember, we're going to give some jigs away tonight. We're going to start doing a few more giveaways, but you can't win unless you're a subscriber. And I hate to be that way. That's just the way it works. And we're thrilled to have all of you guys in here with us tonight. Just makes a lot of fun. When you go in here and if you have any questions for us, either during the show, you can put them in chat. We'll try to catch up. If we don't put them in there again. Hello, Robert Andrews and Mike Sampson.
I see Living MN Outdoors. What's going on?
Glad to have those folks back in here with us. But we got to have these things going, and we're going to use the giveaway tool that StreamYard provides us. So it'll be a hashtag thing here when we get ready to do that. But first, let's talk about what you consider the better way to catch fish. Is it live bait plastics or jigs?
Anything but bacon. Don't be wasting bacon. There's a lot of chatter going on in chat right now about how dare you even talk like that, Lyle. I have to agree with them.
Oh man, a lot of them will disown me probably. Hey, there's
honestly the best thing that I have found, even better than actual minnows. Let's say hello to Laura the Explorer. What's going on, Laura? And how are you doing? Is those Berkeley 1-inch minnows. They're great search baits. They're small in size, easy to put on a hook. You can hook them right through the belly and still do all right. You can hook them up on a jig head or even one of those small trout magnet jig heads, which are tiny. Lyle, you really like to use the really small size jig heads, right?
I do.
The real light stuff.
We're getting a lot of input in chat, and I'm glad to see that. Freddie's Outdoor says depends on the temperature. Betty said it depends on the time of year. Eric Massey said jigs and minnows. And Jigging with Jake says bacon catches bluegill like crazy. Grandma taught me that. They're going to be on you in a minute, Jake.
maybe Grandma didn't like pork. I don't know.
Maybe so. It's going too fast. Twisted Frank says it depends on the circumstances. Chris Olson says curly jigs and tube jigs work well. Bacon is how D caught me, said Chad. Ted. TMI, buddy. TMI. Oh, man.
So
bacon.
Like picking one. Those I do really well, whether it's through the ice, in the spring, or whatever. I can always get them. I couldn't tell you how many times I've been out bait fishing, and I'll use those Berkeley 1-inch gulp minnows for bait fishing just because it saves me a trip to the bait store or to Walmart to get worms to catch bait.
Right.
Worms, red wigglers work the best for me, hands down, bar none. But if I'm pressed for time and I want to get them, I can pull them out with those Berkeley 1-inch gulp minnows. Now, that being said, I have found crappie where I had no idea there were crappie with those. So if I'm having a hard time and I know the fish are there, or I've been through a few of them with, let's say, a Charlie Brewer slider minnow or anything kind of like that, I'll just switch it up to that. They got the scent built in there. The profile downsizes it. It's small rate of what are you laughing about?
The chat. These guys, I should have never said nothing about bacon.
James Henderson, what's up? He says, I'll be right back. The wife has bacon ready.
I got to tell you, David Martin and Living MN Outdoors, live bait hands down. You can't be live bait. I will agree with that to an extent. And the reason I say that is it doesn't matter what time of the year that you use a red wiggler or a night crawler, and it only takes a little bitty piece of night crawler. You can catch bluegill and all sorts of panfish on fishing worms. Now, you can tip a jig with something like that. I've not tried my crappie nibbles yet, which I can't wait to try them. Betty says Panfish Nation Bacon Edition. But yeah, I think that live bait works year round on bluegills and all sorts of panfish, and that includes minnows for crappie. Now, would I rather use jigs and stuff to catch mine? Absolutely. Just because most of the time here lately we've been anyone that dares to use bacon for bait will be banished to Dieter Melhorn fishing. Oh my God, I'm cracking up, you guys. But,
David Martin.
Yeah, but it works, and I'm all about catching fish. So if I go out and hair jig's not working, I'm going to try plastics. And if the plastics don't get it done or not getting it done fast enough to suit me, and it doesn't matter if these jigs are thrown out and reeled in, or if they're under a bobber, which I like to fish under a bobber. I think it's fun. Or if you are putting live bait out and a slip float, I mean, there's tons and tons of ways to do this, and I like to do it all.
Lyle, after talking to some live scope guys, I know that's a heated discussion for another day, but what they're telling me is they've come into situations where a minnow won't work. They know the fish are there. They got the minnow right in front of them, and they won't take the minnow, where they'll introduce a plastic, and they'll take the plastic.
Eric Massey, is this what you're talking about?
Lyle,
he
so
said
happy.
pink crappie nibbles, and I happen to have a bottle of them right here.
Betty turned me on to the red ones with the stripper glitter all over them.
Nibbles only on a hook catching gills and sometimes crappie, just saying. Van Taylor, welcome to the chat tonight. I have panfish on tadpoles. Okay.
We know Jake uses nibbles a lot. I think he's a chartreuse fan, as so am I.
Cool.
That's a good color to use.
Hey, I'll tell you what, my favorite color is the one that's catching them the day we're using them.
Uncle Jeep says the pink ones must be bacon flavor.
We may be in trouble from here on out. We may never get away from the bacon.
This is going to be the bacon show, kind of like
Chan's, man, it might be.
Thanksgiving Day special. Remember that one? That was a good one.
It was. Abbott says leeches work great too. Abbott,
so do waxworms. If you don't have crappie nibbles or your bait shop's out of them, which they do sell out of them, Lyle will attest to that. Waxworms smushed on a jig work almost as good, if not even better, in certain scenarios. I know a lot of guys that spider rig, they were having a 3-pound crappie. I remember seeing a video on his channel where they were fishing Grenada. They were out there spider rigging, and their secret to winning that was getting the bite to turn on by using the waxworms on the end, and they stink too. So
yeah, Eric Massey says he goes through 3 jars a year.
Wow.
And Uncle Jeep says, "Oh, that's a big."
Welcome to Bacon Nation.
Yeah, live in Minnesota outdoors. Pink or chartreuse nibbles, Dawn dish liquid and bread balls make good panfish bait. Sean, really? That is the first time I've ever heard of that. But you know me, I got to give it a try now that I've heard it. Maurice is in here. Welcome, Maurice. Clearwater, bright days, stripper glitter nibbles for the win.
Yep. Who said they had Betty?
Betty. Yeah.
There we go.
Welcome to Bacon Nation with Lyle and Mark.
And if you guys don't know who Betty is officially the crappie queen. I've dubbed her that. My sister Betty is the crappie queen.
I'm thinking she catches the biggest bluegill of anybody I personally know. They're giants. James Henderson, has anybody used that pink corn mix that has attractive additive in it? I have not even seen it yet. Can't go wrong with stripper glitter as long as your wife doesn't find it. Alrighty then.
When you get to be our age,
Yeah, it
that's not
doesn't.
an issue anymore.
Yeah, that's not as important as it used to.
Our wives don't worry about that stuff as much. They go take them. I get that a lot
Evid,
too.
you're correct. She catches them, man. I still, the pictures that she showed when she goes out to where is it, South Carolina, and catches those giant bluegill. Man, God, they're just amazing. So
Shanti Outdoor says he's only 3 hours from Granada Lake. That would be awesome.
Dee says Betty is her sensei. I need to learn her ways. Well, there you go. Making her strippers. What kind of show is this? Come on, Laura. You know what it is. It's a fishing show. Oh, man.
I'm not going to comment anymore, but like that. So it just kind of came out.
Yeah.
I apologize to all the parents out there whose kids are in the room.
Yeah. Betty. Oh, man. Wow. Does anyone use gulp worms anymore? Absolutely.
Here's a little story about gulp worms. We had a camper in southwest Wisconsin. It was at a campsite, right? So there was a private lake there, and I had my young nieces with me all the time. I got so tired of putting worms on their hooks, Lyle. It was horrible,
and they'll stay on good.
It was a nightmare. So I bought the Berkeley phony worms. They stayed on great, and they caught them fish. It was the best thing I ever found in my life.
Yep. They do work good. And I'll tell you a guy that has more success with those than anybody I know, and that's realistic fishing. Anybody that watches his shows, he uses gulp worms about every third or fourth show and catches a ton of fish with them.
Yeah, he also uses those 1-inch Berkeley gulp minnows too. I see him using them.
He sure does. Yep. He's a believer in those, and I wonder if it's because he runs low on time and doesn't have time to go out and get bait, or whether they just work that good for him, or maybe they sponsor him. I don't know, but I like to watch him because he uses them a lot, and it's good to see him. Frank says he catches a ton of creek chubs on gulp maggots. Well,
I have a jar of those. I just haven't had any idea on what to use it for. You know what I was using those for, Lyle? No. I would tip my Berkeley power bait when I was stalker trout fishing with them, just to be a little different than everybody else on the bank that's standing shoulder to shoulder.
Well, a lot of times if you're different than everybody else, it'll be to your advantage.
It didn't work.
Well, I'm sorry to hear that, but
so I got a jar left that's still got liquid in there. I might have to try it.
2 old vets, dough balls dipped in bacon grease, bait for panfish, put out by Oink and Company. If I was a betting person, and I'll nearly bet on anything if the odds are good, I would bet that next week this would be a continuation. Oh, man. And that's okay. We're going to have a good time regardless.
So back on target. So what would you use whether you're searching for crappie or bluegill or fish? What's your go-to when you pull up to a new spot and you say, this smells like fish? What are you pulling out of your tackle box, Lyle?
First thing I'm going to do is pull out a small jig. Or a piece of worm, because I know I'm going to catch something on that worm if they're in there, but I'd rather catch them on a jig. And I showed you some stuff before the show, and I know I can't show these and people see them because of the green screen. You won't be able to see anything. It's green. But I'm really happy with this, and I know it's going to be hard for everybody to see. But that's a chartreuse head with a pink body and a black tail with silver polar flash in it. I don't know why that won't focus better. There we go.
There we go.
Now, That is a number 6 sickle hook instead of a number 4 like I would normally use for bluegill crappie. That's a number 6, so it'll fit in a bluegill's mouth or any of the small panfish. But I have them here that are different colors of the ones I done. I keep forgetting about the green screen, but I don't want you just to look at stuff that's not there. We put the green screen up so it would work for us. But crickets. Crickets are a great bait, and if they're there, they'll bite crickets. That they are. The problem I have, David, is so many times around here we can't get them. And there's bait shops everywhere. There's tons of lakes around here. There's bait shops all over the place. But I guess nobody ever heard of using a cricket, but they work great. And they'll work anytime you can get them throughout the year. If they're in a bait store near you, you can catch panfish with them. Not always crappie. And I'll tell you something else they work for you multi-species fishermen. Crickets are one of the best baits in the world for moon eye. And if you're catching moon eye, you're catching catfish.
I've never seen a moon eye in real life, Lyle.
Oh, my God. You have no idea what you're missing.
Another reason to come visit you. I want to say hello to Texas Tiger. What's going on, bud?
Absolutely. Glad to have him in chat. Uncle, what did Uncle Jeep say? I'm pulling out a bacon
sandwich. I saw that. Get this, folks. I had bacon on my pizza last night. How about that?
That's just rude. D says, is that one of the jigs I'm going to win? It could very well be. Could very well be. Try a pet store. That's a great idea. Great idea. Never thought of that. Pet stores for crickets, because they probably feed them everything in the store.
To the lizards, yeah, they feed them a lot.
That is a great idea.
Creel says the crickets are $2.49 for 50. Here's a story. When I was in high school, some kids ordered like 5,000 crickets in a box and let them go at school, and they charged their parents $1 a cricket to clean all that up.
Oh my God. Maurice says crickets are great for catching trout. Another panfish. Didn't know that you was a trout fisherman, Maurice.
What's going on, Polar Bear? The Chad.
Bell pepper sausage and bacon on pizza. So, Mark, what is it that you prefer to use when you go out catching crappie? You are the catfish and crappie guy.
I use. Depends on the time of year. You can't go wrong matching what they're eating. When ice is out, they're going after small baby shad and stuff. When they're done biting on like the insects or eating insects, they're hungry. They're coming out. They want to eat something that has a smaller silhouette, but still looks like bait fish. So what is it? Funky monkey, whatever the color is. Not funky monkey. I can't remember. You know, the clear with the speckled Bobby Garland's work well for me at first. Yep. And then when I start noticing crappie get a little higher in the water column, here's a tip. If you're fortunate enough to have a fish finder and you find a stack of crappie, and you know what a stack of crappie looks like, it looks like a bunch of arches stacked up directly on top of one another. Yep. If you notice them high in the water column, you got to move your bait. So then to do that, I'll use the Bobby Garland slider minnows, the 2 1/8 inch minnows. They're little paddle tails. They work real well. Other than that, I'm using whatever jigs I have, taking the sizes up and down. I don't use live bait much anymore unless I'm on new water. I used to have this monkey milk. That's right, Chad. Monkey milk.
Yeah.
Monkey milk. That's a killer color. That's one of the best selling ones. But I would go out and buy a couple dozen minnows, and once I found them, I'd switch over to jigs. That would work all right until I started talking to those live scope guys, and it kind of made me second guess, and I don't know where to go from here. So we're just throwing jigs under a cork whenever I do. I'll let it sit, dead stick it so to speak, or so to say, so to speak, dead stick it there, and then I'll start retrieving slow, so slow it's almost painful to do.
I hear you.
Have I used blue ice? I have used blue ice. I like it too. And then the hologram one's a pretty good one too. Here's a weird story on the monkey milk. I can catch black crappies in one spot, and on the hologram one, which is just like monkey milk, but it's like little strips of silver in there rather than like a pepper flake. I can catch white crappie like that sometimes.
Yeah,
I've had that happen. It's very odd, but there's so little white crappie up here that they're hard to catch regardless. So anytime I've used it, I have been able to get white.
Trophy Seekers Outdoors has joined us. Good. Go check Daryl out and check his chicken video out. That's one of my favorites to this point. Sunfish Assassin, welcome.
I have a chicken short, kind of.
Yes, you do, and it's pretty good too. It really is. I got to tell you guys, I love the things. Ranks right up there with bacon. David Barton says you can get 1,000 crickets, half-inch from Amazon for $29. Live, just build a cricket cage.
My luck, they'd get away.
Oh man, I told you the time that we had some get away in the boat. The container it come with got stepped on, and them little beggars went everywhere. And for months they was in their boat. You couldn't find them. Every time you get in there, you'd hear them. My God, it was awful.
Shanti Outdoor says he grew up in the bayou in South Louisiana. We use all kinds of stuff to catch panfish. Yep. We did too. I've used little chunks of hot dog and lunch meat and all sorts of stuff like that.
Slim Jims,
absolutely.
I hate to use them too. They rank right up there with bacon. Oh man, I love them. Summer sausage, anything like that. It's hard for me to put that stuff on a hook. Thank you, Jason. We appreciate that. We're up to 47 now. Man, that's awesome. Thank you, guys. Don't forget, we're going to be giving away some stuff later on. And if you're not a subscriber, you can't win. So please subscribe if you want in on that. And if you don't want in on that, you can go ahead and subscribe. Anyhow, it don't cost nothing.
Tim Molina says tinfoil. I can see how that might work too. Just that little bit of flash. Get a curious one going there.
I'm going to show you something.
Kidney beans, he says.
I seen this guy talking about it.
No, Gene, we're not giving away bacon. We're keeping bacon for ourselves.
This may have been Pawpaw Ed was talking about this the other day. He built some jigs and stuff, and he was talking about inside of bags that are shiny. And I saved one out of a bag of something that we got the other day. And it's just like Mylar. It'll shine and last forever. And it come in a bag of something that I ate. And we're going to use that on jigs too.
Polar Bear says he's even caught chicken. That'd work if you can get it shredded nice and thin.
Yep.
Yeah, Texas Tiger says cut up sunfish in small chunks. Absolutely. That's work. Like my secret for catching big bullheads is I'll catch I've probably said this a million times, but the place I catch my bullheads at normally is also a for some reason, green sunfish and bullheads go together. There's a ton of little like thumb-sized green sunfish in there. I'll cut the head right off of one of those little ones and use that for bait, and I'll pick through all the little bullheads and get the good sized ones for bait. That works really well. They're catfish. They love cut bait.
Run that through a shredder, make some jigs. Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. Lance says, haven't had Slim Jims in years. I have an old Wisconsin sausage store right down the road. I don't know where you live, but I wish I had one right down the road from me because I love that stuff.
How much did you spend when we were in Mendota at what was the name of the cheese store?
Not enough because I ran out pretty quick.
I ran out pretty quick too. That was some good stuff.
Yeah, but I did get quite a bit. What was it that I seen up here a minute ago? David Martin says, feed your cricket oranges and they will not stink like using a potato. Huh. Van Taylor, welcome to chat. I've caught a lot on small balls of white bread. I've caught a lot of rainbow trout on that. Um, but then again, if you just tie up a woolly booger, which is just a round ball of Chanel on a hook, and just tie that with red, white, and red, and wait till somebody cleans fish, you can toss that out there and you catch them by the thousands.
Carp will go after bread balls too. I know a lot of guys that use
Yep.
bread balls and they soak it in like some of those strawberry essence oil and stuff, or a pineapple, and they do well with that. So
Yep. Frank says, I have used belly strips from gills to catch other gills. I've not done that, but when I was young, and I've not done it since then, my brother used to cut them up and take the inners out of them and put them on my hook because I'd lose worms, and I'd catch just about as many as he did.
Lance says he's 15 minutes from Gibbsville Cheese Factory. Fresh cheeseburgers too.
We need to go visit Lance one of these days. Yeah, I think you're right, Frank. They will eat dirt. Don't feed your crickets bacon. You'll confuse the anglers. Fish eyeballs will catch gills. That's probably
Fish
true.
eyeballs are illegal in some states.
Really?
I think in Minnesota, living MN left. I have to ask them, but I know ice fishermen used to love using perch eyes, and they were tired of people, just leaving them on the ice because they were just using them, catching them to use the eyeballs. So I don't know if that's something there. Don't quote me on that, but I think I heard somewhere that you can't really use them. And eyeballs are tough as nails to get off.
I've had them where I put shad heads or something on, and the next time I go fishing, I noticed that I still had them on my hook weeks later. So
Lance is from Sheboygan, great town.
Yeah.
Right near the lake, if I'm not mistaken.
I have to send somebody a image. So here it goes. I do that in a chat.
All right. Betty says, I had a guy tell me the other day he caught crappie on gummy bears that he cut paddle tails into. I found that, she says she found that very interesting. I don't see why it wouldn't work.
I don't either.
Looks like a Bobby Garland.
Yeah.
I wouldn't.
Trophy Seeker Outdoors says, man, you all are innovative fishermen for sure. I have never heard of these methods to fish with. Well, Daryl, if you just hang around, somebody will be talking about using chicken for bait pretty soon.
Somebody already did. You can probably catch. I'm sure you could use chicken to catch.
I'm sure you could, or even just the skin off one would catch bluegill. Yeah,
skin's my favorite part, though, Lyle. That's like chicken bacon if you fry it up right.
Well, it is.
Yeah.
I thought Lyle.
You had 2 minutes from Lake
head.
Michigan. Exactly. Yeah. When I was a young man and Mr. Zink used to take me salmon fishing, he would always talk about Sheboygan. That's why that came to mind.
Sheboygan,
Wisconsin.
Oh, them guys are in me in chat or private messaging.
I don't look at my private messages while I'm on live. Well, maybe I should, because we get all sorts of stuff in that.
Well, one of the guys that's in that chat, I know better than to look at it when he's in there, but I'm just glad he's in there. What dummies would use chicken? Yeah, buddy.
Bacon flavored chicken. I've had chicken breast covered in bacon, smoked.
Yeah. And bacon makes everything taste better. I'm telling you. I don't know why it wouldn't make bait taste better. Creole's chicken hopping across the screen. Oh, man. You guys are too much fun. So how many times do you go out, Mark, and use live bait when you're pan fishing? Whether it be crappie or bluegill or
last year, quite a bit, because Real quick, the crappie population was hit pretty hard here on the Fox. They had a big construction project, and this is what I was told from a couple of the bait shop owners in the area, that a lot of the areas that was available to them for spawning was affected by this project, and that was about 10 years ago, 8 to 10 years ago. So I didn't spend a lot of time looking for crappie on the river. So I would pick up some minnows and try to use those to search them out. I found a couple of spots, nothing real major. I talked to Ryan setting hooks. He kind of tipped me off to a couple of spots I'm going to try this fall. So I'm looking forward to that. But I used a lot of minnows last year. If I'm going out with kids, minnows are pretty easy to use for them too. Sometimes they don't have the patience to reel a jig in or keep a jig steady enough to get a crappie or a panfish to bite. So those are the times.
Okay, good. I have to go back through some chat. Trophy Seeker Outdoors says no chicken on his boat. Bowler Bear says Trophy use it to catch everything, even warming. Lance says crappie wrapped in bacon is great. I can't imagine how good that could possibly be.
That would be good.
Or
even just pan fried in the bacon grease in little bits.
Oh, that would be awesome. Yeah. Creole says you could wrap a corn cob in bacon and it would taste good. No doubt about it. Mark, J. Fox wants to know, do you have a place to join your channel?
I do have a membership program on mine. If you don't get it on the front page, you can go to the bottom of one of my last few videos. I think I've been including the link to join as a member at the bottom of those in the description, so you can find it there. And if you do so, I appreciate it, Jay Fox. I really do.
There you go. And Sunfish Assassin, I bet if I fed my bluegill shellcracker hybrid a piece of chicken, he will eat it, or pork, or beef, if it's raw, anything. And I would agree with that. David Martin says, why do I feel like potted meat is coming up soon? Because it probably is.
It is. I've used Spam. I'm not going to lie.
Hey, you know what? Spam has just enough salt in it that I think that could be
enough.
Yeah,
I drank like a gallon of water after the last time I grilled up some Spam. It was
I don't need anything though. I salt everything first. It is what it is. Two old vets, J. Fox Hunter. I would put a link, but not blue. Maybe if Tim Molina will post Mark's link. Yeah, that'd be great. Or Mark can, or Betty, or any of the things. I would like to touch on that again before we get too carried away. And it's not anything to make anybody mad about not having a blue wrench. We're just selective about who does it, because it's not a status symbol. It's a dirty job. If you have to kick somebody off or time them out, I know some guys do that for fun, and that's fine. But we take it very seriously here, and if you get a wrench, it's because we trust you enough to be able to throw people on and off and reprimand them for doing something wrong. We're trying to have a good time, and we're very liberal about how far you can go. But if it gets down to it, that we do have kids watch these shows, and we want somebody that understands that. So don't think that we're singling people out that don't have wrenches. It's not that at all. Straight to the point outdoors. Welcome to chat. There's your link is up now. Oh, it's up again.
Yep. I put the actual link to the membership link on there for him too.
I want a hammer to smash Chad's head. It's always toe. It's still my mistake. Who times people out for having fun? That's just rude. Well, then you might be the guy. No filter. Yeah. Yep. Too many mods get out of hand, and I agree with that, Creole. And we try to pick people that are pretty much in here every week too. But that's the reason. It's not going to be for anything else.
Tim's been around in the community for a long time. Tim's been a great mod on my channel, and I thought he'd be
and on others,
which is why I asked Lyle to make Tim a mod tonight.
He's a good guy. Trophy Seeker Outdoors. I'm not going to lie. In the catfish tournament Saturday, and we'll be taking chicken, skipjack, bluegill. So chicken is a great locator bait, and I'd agree with that. Now, on certain areas.
I'll use dip bait or stink bait to draw fish in. That'll get the little ones in, but it'll stir up a little of attention. Any scent is better. Not for flatheads, obviously, but for channel cats, I've used it many times in the past.
So, how many people consider channel cats panfish as a general rule? Not everyone.
No, I don't think anybody does. Oh,
okay. Well, I do.
There's pan fryers.
I like the ones about this long. They're some of my favorites of all time.
Well, dip bait would be the way to go to get those.
Yeah.
Most definitely.
Laugh my off, Lyle. I remember a certain person locking out Jeremy, and it started a free Creole movement. Chad, yeah, I remember that too.
Well, Maurice is wanting a wrench now.
Well, there's another great guy. He absolutely is. Where was we at here? Texas Tiger, nothing better than a mod fight. One bans you, the other frees you. Seen it several times. Yeah, and that's right. Pan-sized cats are always the ones I will eat, but they are not panfish. Good information.
Agreed.
Yeah, Frank and I are kind of on the same wavelength on a lot of things.
I noticed that.
Not everything, but a lot of things. And I've known Frank for years and years. And by the way, we're glad to have him in chat every week or about every week. So it's really nice. Oh, Chad, I'm innocent. What?
Uncle Jeep has a serious question. He says, do you guys consider tilapia a panfish? Now, there's a good question because let's say you go down to Florida, there's all sorts of fish down there. You have the whole Oscar family, the cichlid family down there, and obviously there's tilapia down there. Tilapia is a lot of times farm raised, but they've escaped down there and they're everywhere. I consider them fun to catch. Are they panfish? I don't know. I don't think they're biologically considered that or species. What is it? It's the word I'm looking for. I don't think they are. But I'll go out. I'll catch the heck out of them. They look like they'd be fun. I watch Blue Gabe a lot. He's a pretty big YouTube channel.
Yeah, he is.
And he'll take his kids out looking for tilapia and those cichlids and the Oscar family stuff, and they look like they're a blast to catch, Lyle.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. I agree. I don't like the taste of them as far as
I'm not a fan of tilapia, no.
I'm not going to catch them to eat, but they do look like they'd be fun. My question is, how big do they get? Because they're not natural to Florida, as far as I know. They've been brought in.
I've seen some of those cichlids and Oscars that he get pretty darn
right,
big.
But they are. They're
and
natural
tilapia,
bait.
I'm not sure how big they get, but I've seen them 10 to 10 inches. I think.
That would still be.
Yeah.
I would consider that a panfish. I didn't know if they got great big or not because I never did. I thought that they started out being an ocean fish. But now I could be totally wrong about that. Peacock Bass are, Polar, you're right. They are. I'd like to catch one of them, but I don't want to catch one of them that's in the state because they haven't matured to where they got great big. I want to go to Brazil and go down there on the big river and catch one of them, wild and woolly.
Frank says they get up to 5 pounds. They grow. They have a short life.
That'd still be fast. A panfish, I would have to think.
Mm-hmm.
5 pounds, yeah. Uncle Jeep says I catch ones about crappie size out of my farm canals. Wow, cool.
Air runs in the house. What's going on, Air? He's starting to come back around. What's going on, bud? Nice to see you back.
John Boy's catfishing.
In Texas, Texas Tiger is saying there's huge tilapia in South Texas.
Okay.
Filter feeders. I did not know that.
I did not either. Did not know that either. That's awesome. That's great to know. Anybody have any more questions about pan fishing for using jigs or artificials, or I would like to try some of them little bitty fishing plugs that you turned me on to. They're like 7/8 of an inch long, and use planer boards and drag a bunch of them out behind a boat. Um, but man, they're a little pricey. So if you lost 2 or 3 of them at once, it probably hit you.
Even those crappie planer boards are a fortune. I think they're like $30 to $40 a set. I think, or
For
a
what?
piece, maybe $28 for like those offshore crappie planer boards.
I got a whole bunch of them.
You keep telling me that, Lyle.
I do have. Don't even use them. I have some too, Avid. White perch for me, yeah, they're fun to catch and good bait. The guys out in North Carolina use them all the time. Not sure they're legal here.
Right there, what Freddy's Outdoor Adventure says, Beetle Spins. They work awesome.
Beetle Spins are a great bait for a lot of stuff. Even the ones that you would think are too big for bluegill will catch bluegill.
Yep.
But the little ones work better. Yeah. Catch your own minnows or buy them. I think the wild caught are healthy and far more lively.
Not to go off on a tangent, I don't know my species well enough. I'd be afraid that I'd grab something that I shouldn't be using. I worry about that with a cast net sometimes too. I worry that, this time of year, and I'm happy to hear, I heard the rumors that the shad are moving into the dams. I've had guys who've gotten little baby smallmouth caught in their cast nets, and we get so many at this time of year. You'd fill a bucket, like half a bucket, with one Walmart cast net full, and a smallmouth will be in there, and the DNR's waiting with their binoculars on shore. They'll come check you, and you get a lot of trouble for using it. So I'll go to my store and support my local business and keep safe. But I don't use them enough for it to cost me that much.
Yeah.
If you know what you're doing, go catch them.
Yeah, I wouldn't worry about getting the wrong species where I'm located, but I can see where that'd be an issue in some areas.
Well, we get a lot of guys that use chubs, right? Well, here in Illinois, there's the horny head. They actually have like little bumps on their head. They're called horny head creek chubs. And up until like a year or two ago, they were protected.
I'm not sure they're still not in Missouri.
They're not protected in Missouri.
I think they still are.
They still are.
Yeah,
I think you could get in a lot of trouble for that.
Oh, yeah. Any protected. Here is a posted chat. Freddie, Beetle Spins are what I catch the monster bluegills on. Lyle talks about your sister. And I thought she was catching them on jigs and worms and stuff. But now we know. And we'll all be out buying Beetle Spins tomorrow.
Here's a little tip for Betty too. If you go to MrTwister.com, you can just buy the actual spins and use those, the little blades and the little bent piece of wire, and use those with those Bobby Garlands you love so much when you're fishing in the weeds. That'll keep that bait upright. You get through a lot of milfoil with those.
Here's another great post. Good point on the cast net. Yeah. 1/8" Beetle Spins on Doc Demon mini rod using 2 to 4 pound test. That's a lot of fun. I'm sure you're right about that. Black and yellow ones are hot now with Catawba worm hatch. I'm sure that is correct. Spin Dandy is better than a Beetle Spin for the river for panfish. Why hasn't anyone? I've never heard of them, but I will check them out.
He's going to take notes. He'll come back and look at them, and he'll order like 5,000 of them.
Maybe.
You just created a shortage there.
In the summer, we'll burn a Beetle Spin just under the surface in shallow water and smoke the goggle eye, which is warmouth. That's a great deal. We have some endangered darters and other small fish. Yeah.
See, that's why I don't mess with them.
Yeah, I understand. Texas Tiger says, I run minnow traps for fun, but some fry are hard to tell what you have. That is true. And I got to tell you, although they're legal to use for bait, you have to kill them first. A small Asian carp look strikingly like a small shad. They really do. Because when they're small, you don't see the spot on every one of them. So just
Freddy's Outdoor Adventure says they have a ton of horny heads in South Carolina.
wow. Sunfish Assassin says I fish with creek chubs every trip for catfish and gar. Uh, Catmandu, braid, mono, fluorocarbon for line and Y. I use
Yes.
a lot. I use a lot. Yeah, that's where I'm
Yes.
at. I use a lot of braid. I use a lot of mono. I do not use fluorocarbon. I find it extremely overpriced. And if I'm going to use that, I'll use braid.
I'll use fluorocarbon leader. I'll run that
Yeah.
in really gin clear water, and I'll run that for salmon as well.
But he says that's what I use. Mr. Twister spins with my own plastic.
Plastics. Yep. Very good, Betty.
James Henderson says you can get them at Walmart too. Frank says I target mostly emerald shiners and golden shiners. I do get plenty of fatheads as well. Well, fatheads are pretty good bait, and they are legal to use in Missouri. J Fox Hunter says I just joined your site. Mark did.
Thanks,
show
J
up
Fox.
on
I
your end.
won't know. I won't know until after the show. I'll have to go into my YouTube studio and I'll get a notification that way. I don't even look at the messages that Betty sends me at this time. I got to pay full attention to Lyle to keep him on point.
Yeah, I'm going to talk about bacon or something
But I
like that.
appreciate it, my friend.
Frank says I catch chubs and white suckers for cats, and I love suckers. The problem is they don't get as big here as they do in other areas, and I get discouraged. I like the ones I got up in North Dakota that time. The guy going out every day and caught them, and we was in a tournament up there, and we go into the store and buy them there at the Cabela store, and they was the biggest suckers I ever seen in my life.
Have you ever seen an 8-pound sucker before, Lyle?
No, I never seen one that big.
I have. My buddy Beto caught one, and he cut it up for bait. I looked it up when I went home. He had a state record in his hands, and he cut it up for catfish bait.
I would have too. Hildebrandt Spin Dandy. Check them out. Put a cricket on and a hook. On the hook, a must. Anything else? Sean T, we have... You know what, Mark? It is 9:02.
Let's give away some jigs, Lyle. What do you say?
Let's give away a box of jigs, and I'm going to post what you have to do. Let me get over here. To win this box of jigs, you must post this just exactly like I have it. Hashtag jig box.
No spaces, Lyle. Make
No
sure
spaces. Hashtag jig box. Just like that.
Jig box.
Jig time, party
Lyle,
time.
are you gonna? You said you were gonna give me one of them to give away during the tournament. 2 of mine, right?
Yeah, I got plenty.
Oh, so remember that.
Yeah.
People, come in the tournament if you don't win here tonight. You'll be able to win it there too.
Now we're gonna give you guys plenty of time, and doesn't do any good to do this to post more than once because you can go get the Beetle Spins you want, but the Monster Gills was caught off your electric chicken jig. Awesome. Uncle Gene's posted a hashtag. But yeah, these I got plenty of jigs. Cindy gets in there. And she's got a blue wrench because she'll shoot me.
This is true.
Yeah.
All right, so if you guys could look out for one another, and if you notice, I've been looking, I didn't see anybody misspell it or add a space or anything like that.
I haven't either, but if you see one, please let them know.
Out. Yep.
I did see Uncle Jeep's hashtag. We might use that for a giveaway one of these days.
I think that's a great idea.
Yeah, I do too. In fact, you know what? We gave away some jigs last week, and nobody claimed them. So, when we get done with the jig box, I'm going to give these away again.
Cool.
How's that grab everybody?
That's fantastic. I'm sure they'll love them.
Oh, I bet. If you don't, just throw them in the trash and don't worry about it.
I don't think that'll be an issue.
I don't think so. I hope not, anyhow.
43 people in chat, 51 thumbs up. We really appreciate you guys. What are you like? Are you looking at your messages again?
I am. I've been called a name. Imagine that. I can't wait till that guy is able to come on the show with us. That will be fun. James Henderson, all this bacon talk reminds me of the dog treats commercial back in the day. Bacon, 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 bacon. I remember that too.
They're called begging strips, weren't they?
Bacon strips, yeah, that's right. Oh, that was funny. You guys are so much fun in chat, and we enjoy you so much. I may never quit doing this. I always wanted to quit. My goal was to quit doing shows at 65, but as much fun as we have, I can't imagine ever quitting.
I think it's don't get me wrong. I love catfish. I love everything else I fish for and stuff, but it's a little more laid back in the panfish world. I think I really do.
It really is. And Frank, if you need something, message me and we'll get together. More stuff to win, Dee says. She wins a lot.
Why don't you, while they're waiting, can you open that box up without it falling out?
I think so.
Look at them.
Now, when it doesn't show through, that's a chartreuse or a green or something. But they're gold and black and orange and black.
Are those compartments lined with foam too, Lyle?
Yes, they are. I cut that and put that in there. I really like that blue and white one there at the bottom. It's awesome. And the idea is,
with the red collar, I really like that too.
Yeah, the idea is you stick them in the foam, but these have been hauled around a little bit, shown to people in and out. They've jiggled, they've been knocked off I got 2 desks in here. They've been knocked off at least both of them 2 or 3 times. And, I will lay this box right here so I know that it's the one going out.
David Martin says he's going to Waffle House as soon as the show's over.
He's got to have some bacon. I knew it. Thank you, Chrissy. I'm glad you liked them. Dee says, I have never won on Panfish Nation. Really? Thank you, Ernie. I thought she'd won everywhere. I could find a use for each one and every one of those. Betty, this is the one you want. I'm telling you. And I know for a fact that's the one you want. Thank you, Luther. I think.
What do you say we spin? What do we say we spin the wheel for that first set of jigs?
Let me screen.
You don't have to re-enter it. You can re-spin each time if you want to. Just use the same pool of people for each giveaway. Sandy Taylor, welcome.
More fun to do it the other way, isn't it?
I'm sorry.
More fun to do it the other way, isn't it?
Sure.
Has that got us?
Yes, it does.
Is everybody in that's getting in?
Yep.
All right. Then we're going to spin her away. Here we go.
Welcome, Sandy Taylor. I believe that's a new name to chat.
I believe it is.
Ernie Brown.
Congratulations, Ernie.
Congratulations, Ernie. He'll put them to good use.
I'm sure he will.
Justin just showed up. You missed your chance to win at the box, but we're going to have another giveaway, Justin.
We are. I have to tell you, Chrissy, if you decide you want those,
just take them from them.
Just take them from me. Not that I would stir up the pot or anything like that, but
Betty has a saying about that.
What's that?
Whoever stirs the pot licks the spoon.
Yeah, depending on what's on that spoon. All right, let's do it again. We'll give away the ones nobody claimed.
Tira Dorarco, what's up, Al? How you doing?
Glad to have you in chat.
I think you should make the hashtag bacon.
I already you read my mind, dude. You read my mind. Here it comes. This is what you must do to win this giveaway. Right here.
Bacon.
Bacon. And if you guys will implement that into chat, when everybody gets them in there, basically, we will draw again. And for those of you, let's see, am I up where I can? This is the ones, you can't see the green ones, but this was given away. Nobody claimed it and never got a message from anybody. So I believe there's 9 in there, 3, 6, 9. Yeah.
And Lyle, you notice right
And
there.
I'm going to throw some more in there. Do what?
You see where it says entries on that screen? That tells you how many people actually entered in that hashtag.
Yes.
So you know that.
Yep, there's 34 in it right now. And I forgot to check on the other one. But yeah, I knew that, and that's nice. I can't believe it's. Oh man, love you guys.
You're going to have David Martin figure out how to make bacon on his boat.
Oh, he's I'm quite sure David Martin has already had bacon on his boat.
I'm sure he has.
You bet. Up to 38 now. We'll give you just a little while longer. There's Cell South. Welcome. Cell South 1. That's a new one for us. Justin's Fishing Fetish. Anything nobody claims, you can send to me, to Gabby Goose.
Gabby Goose.
Gabby Goose could, all she's got to do is message me. She don't have to enter nothing. She's awesome, man. One of the most fun young ladies in the fishing industry.
All the fishing kids are great, but
they are.
Gabby did take my breath away when I met her at the meet and greet. She got out of her chair to give me a big old hug. First time I ever met her, and I was really taken away by it. It really made me feel very welcome.
Never irritated, hardly. I've never seen her.
Only at Chad. That's the only person she's irritated at.
You got to take that with a grain of salt.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, she is. Time flies on the show. It does, James. It really does. But yeah. David says I did already. I knew he had to have. But yeah, Gabby is she's awesome. Are we done? Is everybody in that's going to get in?
Cindy entered too, I believe.
Why does that not surprise me?
Last
I
call.
think we're all in.
Last call. Everybody's voting for Cindy to win.
Here we go.
J-Dog, you should get your son in more videos. He'd like that. Have him show up with you on a live once in a while. That'd be cool.
It would be.
No
you gotta
way.
be kidding me.
I think you should redraw and just make your own setup of jigs.
I will, because I'll give her the same one. I'll give her. Oh, she's dying now.
In the background.
You want to redraw, don't you? Yeah. All right. We're going to do that again. I don't know how to. I gotta.
What did you just do? You didn't need to set it up. You could have just put redrawn on there so you know next.
Oh, I didn't know that. This is new to us, so you'll have to.
They'll have to re-enter in this.
That's right. We're going to do the same thing. Hashtag bacon.
All right, now people, you need to hit that thing. People, you need to re-enter.
Oh, it just put it back up with the same 38 entries.
Oh, perfect. Good
yeah,
to know.
So you don't have to do nothing. Are you still? I assume you're still seeing it. Yeah. All right, we're going to draw again. Here we go. If she wins it again,
No.
she's pretty lucky. I'm not so much.
All the ladies in chat are real lucky.
Dan Thompson.
And
Dan, that what you have to do, and Ernie, you too, but Ernie, you already know it. You guys just send me your shipping information tonight or in the morning sometime, and I'll get it packaged up and get the stuff on the way to you. I hope everybody had as much fun tonight in this show as I had. I got a great idea.
Uh-oh.
We could set all this up the next time Cindy makes cinnamon rolls.
That'll work.
Would for me. So that means
You know
I
what
can get 'em when
Cindy
they
could
come
do?
around.
She could sprinkle like bacon bits on the cinnamon rolls.
I'm thinking you're right about that.
That might work. Or a side of bacon. It doesn't have to be right on there.
Yeah. Thank you, Maurice. Thank you. Glad you enjoyed it. I hope everybody did. Um, Thank you, Joe. We had a blast bringing this show to you. You guys, if you want to know about anything in particular, we are always in search of new content. We are always in search of new guests. So if there's someone particular that you would like us to have on, please contact me and I will try to get them on. We had Babe Winkleman on right after we started doing the show. Babe's having some health issues. For you, those of you that don't know it, please keep it in your thoughts and prayers. He's been in the hospital and had some surgery and stuff. So hopefully he'll get to feeling better. And when he does, we're going to get him back on here. But I'm not even going to bother asking him until he does get to feeling better, simply because I have that much respect for him. So bear that in mind. But yeah, anything that you guys want to talk about, cut open a roll and fill it with bacon. Oh man! But yeah, anything that you guys would like to see us do a show about, or any particular guy, YouTube guy, or just a friend of yours that catches a lot of fish, heck, we'll try anything. But we want to do shows that people enjoy. Cindy's laugh was the best. Absolutely, she's in the other room, Freddie. So yeah, it was. But thank you guys for joining our show tonight.
Thank you so much, guys.
Be sure to check out Catfish Weekly on Monday night and Catfish and Crappies podcast.
Yeah, this Monday, let me plug it, Lyle, because I really got to get this going. We're going to do the pick. We're going to start picking competitors for the 1-versus-1. There's still plenty of room. I think I got 14 people registered, and I need 16 people at least to get the pool going. So there's plenty of time. Anybody who wants to compete or you want to pick even somebody outside, we may be able to make that happen. I'm accepting contributions from creators if you want plugs and stuff, stickers. That's fine. We trade stickers all the time. I just want to make it fun for the people in chat. The sponsors are coming together, so things are great.
So you have 14. You need at least 2 more, but you can have 30.
I need at least 16. We'll see what happens as time goes. There's so many tournaments and stuff going on, and it's that time of year when people are going back to school and stuff. So we're going to make it happen. I'm going to make this as fun as I can for everybody. There's going to be, some prizes involved and stuff. So I do this because I want to. I'm not doing it for any other reason than that.
Yeah, and if you get more than 16, that'd be fine. Just people has to understand that you're only taking 8.
Correct. 8 people. 8 people. And 8. Wait.
Freddie's Outdoor Adventures. Chad is definitely getting called out if I'm picked. You must.
We got plenty. Creole messed me up. Creole, you messed me up in the last show. Basically, I need 8 people. It's going to be 2 versus 2, and then 2 versus 2, and then the winner of those go to the semifinals. So I need 8. We got enough people on there, but that doesn't mean you don't want to be part of that lottery. So.
Thank you, South One. Betty said she was going to bed. Great show. Thank you, Betty. We appreciate it.
Good night, Betty.
Mark 3 of my bucktails are there for you.
Oh, thank you. Hey, if you could send an email and let me know that to Ovets and send me your logo, I'll make sure to put it up on the screen when I go to give those away. And if you send me and if you could ship them, that'd be great. And maybe we can talk about having you make a couple up for me. I'll pay you for those for my personal use. But
there you go.
We will check Facebook, David.
Someone seen my Chrissy screamed about lost it. Oh man! Anything else we need to go over, Mark, before we leave?
Nope, that's it. Make sure you follow and love, like, do all that stuff. Panfish
Yep.
Nation,
Subscribe.
Catfish Weekly, subscribe. We're trying to grow the channel, get more guests on
Yep.
and stuff.
Yep.
And I have fun just hanging out with you, Lyle, and hanging out with the people.
Oh, dude, I enjoy it so much. And what was it? Does anybody know where we're at on subscribers? Before the show started, we was 492. And we're 495. So
495. We're growing slow and sure.
you would ask me about doing something. And I know we said we was going to leave, but you asked me about doing something. If we got to 500, and we're going to give away a Dockery Mad Fisherman rod.
That was at 1,000, I thought.
Oh, is it 1,000? Was it 1,000? Okay.
It was 1,000. You were going to give away more boxes of these jigs.
Oh, yeah, box of jig. That's right. That's right. That's right. My mistake. Well, get them
Hey,
subscribers.
Fox Hunter, thank you very much. I did see that he did become a member to my page. I appreciate it, my friend.
That is great. So, yeah, if we get 5 more before next Thursday night, we'll give away another box. And you never know. Might do it anyhow. It's hard to say. We'll give something away, I'll bet.
Well, we always do them when we're tying jigs. I imagine in a couple of weeks we'll probably have some time to get that done too.
Yep. And for those of you that like the show with Kim Burnett, if you like that, send me a message because Kim will come in and do them shows with us anytime. And if Eric Massey's off, he will too. But they have a limited amount of time they can spend, and we're just thrilled that they're willing to tolerate us. Thanks everybody for watching the show. We'll see you next Thursday night.
Have a great night. God bless.